So we are in the quarterfinal of the Champions League, and we have 8 teams left, and only four will be coming through. And it seems like out of the four that are gonna come through, two are already decided, in my opinion. I think two is already done. Honestly, it might be three. Honestly, it might be all the games. All the games might have been already decided. But let's just get into it. The first game we're gonna go over is Real Madrid versus Arsenal. This was the exciting game. This was a game that we were all talking about. We have a team, Arsenal, who really they had more things to prove than Real Madrid. Everybody assumed that Madrid was going to win this game simply because, this is their tournament, and Arsenal haven't been here in the Champions League this far in a while, okay, to say the least. And Arsenal is a team that in the Premier League, it seems like they always been the bridesmaid, but never the bride for trophy-wise. You know what I'm saying? In the Premier League, for the past 3 seasons, they came in second, not first, right? Not the bride, bridesmaid. So going against a team like Real Madrid in the Champions League, where it's Madrid. Madrid and Champions League go together. You know what I'm saying? So you just assume, Madrid was going to do great. But we also didn't consider that in coming into this game, Madrid lost the weekend, which meant that the title race in the La Liga against Barcelona took a hit. And I don't know if that got them mentally as well, because they were 3 points behind after this week. Now they're 4 points behind. Barcelona is a team that didn't take advantage of the loss that they had because Barcelona tied their game. And I don't know if this was something they were thinking about coming into this game, but they played basically the same way they played this weekend. Okay? So, and then on the other side, Arsenal, they came in this game and they also tied Everton. So even them, you had a doubt, like, both teams, like, it could have gone either way. Who's going to come in the Champions League and play like a champion? And it was Arsenal. Arsenal completely played like a champion from the kickoff of the game. Even if you look at the lineup, and you can say that Real Madrid has a lot of players injured. So what? So does Arsenal. Arsenal also had a lot of players injured, And Madrid has just been a team that is not as balanced as Arsenal is. Arsenal has two left and right backs who are amazing, who are great. You know what I mean? Really, their whole defense line, even though they have their three best defenders are injured. They're not playing this game. But nevertheless, they have a replacement who are confident enough to give you the same output as the first team players. And that's what they really needed in this game. And from Real Madrid perspective, they played with like 4-4-2. And I just felt that Vinicius is really good on the wing instead of having him play side by side with Kylian Mbappe. And that just tells me that they were overthinking it. It seems like they were overthinking this game. For Arsenal, it seemed like they had a plan and they pretty much executed it. So as the game was going on, from the kickoff point, Arsenal felt like they were on a mission, and they were really pressuring Madrid the whole time. Madrid had two chances in the first half where Kylian Mbappe was one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He completely misses it, and it was a complete miss. I wouldn't even say a great save. It was just a complete miss. And then Vinicius, one where Vinicius was clearly running and Kylian Mbappe was wide open. He didn't pass him the ball fast enough. That was another chance missed. Now, on the other side, if we look at the statistic, Arsenal had 12 shots, 11 of them were on target. Madrid had 9 shots, 3 on target. And Arsenal had 54% of possession of the game. So they were controlling the whole game as well. And again, you can say this Madrid team, the defense has just been lacking this whole season. They have a bunch of injured players. Since Carvajal is not there, Mendy couldn't take care of it. Alba is just not what he used to be. He's in the latter stage of his career. So the back is just empty. And in the midfield, they're missing an engine. Valverde has to be a defender instead of playing in the middle. So that takes away a lot of energy from the middle, right? And, Modric, as great as he is, time is ticking. You get what I'm saying? So really, they just weren't really balanced enough. From the front, from the back, from the middle, they just weren't balanced. But anyway, so the second half starts. That's when stuff really starts happening. So as we go into the second half, Arteta might have said some amazing thing to his players because when they came back, they were full of energy. I feel like they knew take this team down, and they only needed one goal to make sure it happens. And then it comes. Declan Rice. The free kick was amazing. Now, he gets a free kick and he just scores. It was a clear free kick. I felt that Courtois didn't think that free kick was going to go in. I think he underestimated Declan Rice because the wall was terrible. Anyway, the first goal is scored. Great free kick. You're thinking, all right, it seems like this game is tilting to one way. Vinicius is not doing anything. This 18-year-old kid, Luis, he's on him. He's not letting him have any kind of breaks. So they're very much maintaining this guy. And this kid, Luis, he just feels like he's been playing soccer forever. You get what I'm saying? He's very comfortable. And what is it? Fully controlled. It felt like he's been playing for a while. But either way, as the game's going on, they get another free kick. Declan Rice scores again. Now, the second free kick, that was my favorite free kick out of the two. And after that free kick, you kind of just felt like they have one player to score 2 free kicks. How is this going to happen? So by that time, the game kind of felt like it's over. Madrid was just kind of getting tired. It looked like they were not going to come back at all. And then out of nowhere, Arsenal adds on the dagger. The dagger was basically that great pass from, again, this kid, Luis, to Marino, and then just one hit, 3-0. And the game was over. And I think this is the one time where I can say that I just don't think Real Madrid has the firepower to come back from this game. Not to say the front three won't score a goal. I'm sure they'll score a goal, but I don't see this defense stopping from Arsenal scoring at least one goal. I'm somebody that says never bet against on Madrid because this is Madrid. Madrid. If anybody can do this, anybody can turn this deficit, it's Madrid. But I just feel like this is not the season. I just don't see this Madrid defense is going to stop from Arsenal scoring. But I can see Arsenal's defense stopping Madrid from scoring. And that's really the biggest difference for this season, in my opinion. Arsenal's been solid when it comes to defending, you know? So, just from that perspective, I think this tie is over. I'm going to call it. It's over. I think Madrid is out. Yeah, but no Ballon d'Or for the guys. That's really the big one. So, the second game was Inter Milan versus Bayern. So, this is another game where I want to say it's done dusted, but I mean, again, this is also another game where it could be turned. It could be turned over, okay? Bayern is another team who's having a lot of injury problems as well. I mean, in the past week, their number 10, Musiala, out. You know what I mean? Out until the end of the season. Neuer is out. Ubunkaneh is out. I mean, they just feel that some of their starting players are out, and their biggest loss is Davy. Davy's out. He's going to be out for the rest of the season. And I think this is the biggest loss out of all of them. Because Davy was the engine for this team. Davy was a guy who really was up there. You know what I mean? Whenever it felt like Bayern loses hope, he was the guy to come through. And the fact when I heard that he was gone for the season, I was like, it's going to be really hard. It's going to be really hard for them to beat any team left in the Champions League at this point. And this game kind of went the same way. You know, the replacement were just not good enough, I think. Goretzka is not the Goretzka we knew from 2020, really. Kimmich, same thing. He's also in the latter stage of his career. Sané is just not it. You know what I mean? Sané is a good player, but I don't think he's a dependable player. You get what I'm saying? He has good games, bad games. Olise is good, but Olise needs somebody like Musiala next to him. You get what I'm saying? And then Kane is great, but Kane can only score goals. Like, that's kind of his main thing. Whenever the team is doing good, he'll be doing good. But whenever the team is doing bad, that means he's not getting any service. This is a home game, and Bayern looked like they were still in full control of the game. But you expected that. Inter Milan is a team that lets you have the ball as much as you want. They kind of just block you completely, and they wait for you to lose the ball, and that's when they just attack you. That's kind of, and they did that perfectly in this game. So as the game was going on, Bayern felt like they could do this. They were fully in control, and there were a few chances missed before Inter Milan scored a goal, especially the clear chance with Olise and Kane. I mean, Kane should have finished that goal. He didn't score, and he just felt that when he missed a clear goal like that, this is going to be a long night. And then on the other side, Inter Milan, the first goal they scored, it kind of showed you like they can do it. That's kind of what it felt like. Everything was clicking for them. I mean, the first goal was amazing. Thuram touch, and then Martinez. The way he scored that from the outside of his boot, I mean, that's just confident. That was confident. That was one of the best goals I've seen. From the outside of the boot, straight into the corner. That was beautiful. So after that goal was scored, you kind of felt that, man, a team like Inter Milan knows how to defend. I mean, we're talking about a team who hasn't let in more than 4 goals, I believe, this whole campaign. So after they went ahead, it kind of felt like it was a mountain for Bayern to climb. And Bayern was doing it. Bayern was making the work. They were at it for the first half. And then the second half starts, and they're still at it. But it just feels like maybe this is a game that's going to end 1-0. And maybe they'll have another chance to go to Inter Milan, get that one back. Because it's not too far ahead. But Bayern was not having it. You know, they made some replacement. Muller came in. Muller is a player who, this is his last season at Bayern. and they're not renewing his contract. A legend. Okay, Muller is the best player Germany has ever produced, in my opinion. He's great. I mean, he's one of the best players in football in general. Just look at his statistics. Muller comes in and he's so good at just being in those positions. You know what I mean? So towards the end of the game, he gets a goal back, and now you're thinking they have a little bit of time to actually get another goal. This is their home game. They have to get another goal to get an advantage, and they were just hollowing on. So they made another replacement. Now this is where the weakenings come in. That the replacement for the players who are in the starting 11, the guys who are coming in are just not good enough. So one example would be when such a boy came in for right back, and AC Milan and Inter Milan was doing a run up on them, and for some reason he went into the midfield to try to help the midfielder get the ball away from the attacker instead of staying wide with the winger. So he left completely the wing open. Inter Milan crosses the ball, and it's kind of the same way they scored the first goal. This guy crossed that in, the ball hard, and boom, it's 2-0. It's pretty much over. And now they have to go to Inter Milan and try to score 2 goals without Inter Milan scoring a goal on them. You think that's possible? I don't know. I just don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, but they can do it. They have Kane, right? Even the stats of the game, it shows that Bayern had 20 shots, 7 on target, and they had almost 60% of the possession. Inter Milan only had 10 shots, 4 of them were on target. You get what I'm saying? So Bayern had the shots there, they just didn't have the conversion rate. So the other game was PSG versus Aston Villa, and this was kind of another game that was pretty much straightforward, right? PSG already won the league, they got down on the back, so they're not thinking about that. This is their main focus, okay? And PSG has been reinvented. This is not the PSG with Kylian Mbappe. This is not the PSG with Messi or Neymar. This is a PSG with Dembele leading the front, okay? And the front three has been great. They have great front three, they have great midfielders, and they have great defenders. So this is a very much a balanced team, right? And then in Champions League, you need a very balanced team. And PSG has not been balanced in a while, okay? Whenever they have great defenders, they don't have great midfielders. Whenever they have great midfielders, they don't have great back. So now they have all three cooked. They got some great players. They got this 19-year-old kid on the wing. I mean, they got one of the brightest kid from Napoli, Vika Vreskia. I think that's how you say his name. I'm definitely saying it wrong. This guy is the next Georgian star, right? He has so much quality, and he just fits in perfectly for PSG, especially on the wing, right? And then they have, on the other side, they have this 19-year-old kid, another star that came in, and Dembele in the middle. I mean, the combination is just solid. And then in the midfield, they have Neves, they got Frank Luiz, and Vinicio. I mean, those are great combination. And then on the back, they have a left wing and the right wing that are great at going forward, and they have speed as well. Hakimi and Mendy. This is a very good team, is my point. And they were playing against Aston Villa, a team who hasn't been here in a while. Yes, they had some great transfer themselves. They have Rashford, they have Asensio in there as well. They have Tielemans. I mean, it's a good team. It's just not as good as PSG. And PSG is just very much aware how to play in the Champions League, and these players are very hungry, and they're not just depending on Dembele, just one player. There are various players who can have a great impact, and I think for them, like I said, their main focus is this, and I think they knew they were going to win this game, and they played like they were going to win this game. And if you look at the lineup, I mean, look at it. It's pretty obvious, right? I don't know why Asensio didn't start this lineup as well. I thought that would have been great, but nevertheless, Aston Villa just went back in defending, and PSG was looking for that. And the whole time, PSG was just attacking. I mean, Aston Villa made it hard for them because they were compact completely, and they were kind of doing what Inter Milan was trying to do, where they just wait to get the ball, and they will attack. And that's how the first goal came from, is that they just waited patiently, and it was combination from Rashford, Tielemans, and Rodgers, right? And it was a great goal, and after they scored this goal, you're thinking, is this going to be like the game from Liverpool, where Liverpool just completely defended the whole time and they got a goal out of it? You get what I'm saying? But PSG was not going to let that happen, okay? This kid, and again, the star, this number 14, 19-year-old kid, gets the first goal, and that goal was a rocket. And really, I think Martinez could have stopped that goal, but he underestimated that shot. He thought that shot was going to go out, and you can see in his face that he's like, I should have went, I could have got this ball, and he could have. But anyway, so they scored the first goal, they tied the game, and now you're thinking, this is it. PSG is going to step on their neck completely, and that's what they did. If you look at the statistic, PSG had 29 shots, 10 on target. They had 76% of the possession. Aston Villa had 7 shots, only 2 on target, and one of those they scored. You get what I'm saying? I mean, they were just completely dominant. Even the second goal, again, this kid, a star. I mean, he cooked him. Another goal, and then as you're thinking, okay, Aston Villa is basically like, you know what? Let's just keep this 2 and let's take it home. Maybe we would have a chance. And then at the end of the game, Mendy came out of nowhere, and he said, nah, we're gonna finish this right here, and they completely finished it. So now it's 3-1, going back to Aston Villa. You think Aston Villa can come back from this? I do not think so at all. I think PSG is definitely coming through, and PSG has a great chance of going to the final. I can see PSG beating Arsenal or even Real Madrid, especially this Real Madrid, right? Whoever comes out of that, I can easily see PSG beating them. But again, we're getting too ahead of ourselves because at this stage of the Champions League, all these teams are great and they can all go to the final. But you know what's not going to the final? Aston Villa. I think it's over. Okay? Anyway, so the last game we're going to talk about is Dortmund versus Barcelona. So coming in this game, Barcelona is very, very confident. I mean, this is the best team in Europe in 2025. They have not lost one game, and they're competing at all fronts. They're already in one final, and they're also trying to win the league as well. They're 4 points ahead. They had a great chance this weekend to extend their lead to 6 points, but they tied a game. So they only have 4 points ahead. On the other side, you have Dortmund, who they're not even going to make it in the Champions League. I mean, that's really their focus. They just fired their coach. They have a new coach. So I believe this was a mismatch. You have a team who's flying colors and a team who's having a hard time, coming from the middle of their table. And this is a team who been the second best team in Germany for a while. And they're not this year. And this is a home game for Barcelona. So Dortmund had to do a lot of work to get anything out of this at Barcelona. So the lineup of Barcelona was pretty much straightforward. That Lewandowski up front, Rafinha to the left, Lamar to the right, and then you got Lopez for number 10. So usually they have Lopez or Dani Olmo, but Dani Olmo is injured or he can't play right now. I don't know if you remember late last season, Barcelona couldn't register him simply because of the financial play rule. They weren't making enough money to register him. But some way, somehow, they sold some skybox ticket for the stadium they're building ahead of time, and they counted that income in. And that's how they signed him up. And then now, La Liga is going back on that choice and saying that Barcelona did some shady stuff to make those numbers work, so therefore, they shouldn't let Dani Olmo play. And they took it to court, and the court basically sided with Barcelona, saying that you already let them register. Whatever Fugazi they did, you fell for it. We're not going to just take it back because now you want to go back on your choice. It's too late. Dani Olmo is going to keep playing. They're still trying to get that solved. Maybe that's the reason why he didn't play. But I don't think he's injured anymore. Yeah. But either way, he's still playing. So usually you'll have him or Lopez or Gabby. So those three they switch each other. And then you got the mid, we got Pedri and De Jong, who are both having one of their best seasons. I mean, these are the two best midfielders in the world right now. No doubt about it. And then the back is pretty clear. I mean, anybody we put in the back at this point has been doing great. Blade is great. Martinez is great. Kubasi, no need to say anything. Koundé, same thing. Koundé, in the beginning of the season, he was having a problem playing the position he's playing, but he made it his own. I mean, he is pretty much a right back. He likes it or not, So really, this was a strong team, and I believe the fact that they tied this weekend, they were going to take that out on Dortmund for sure. And that's basically what they did. I mean, the kickoff of the game, Lamar was doing his thing. I was saying that Rafinha should be winning the Ballon d'Or, but honestly, Barcelona wins the Champions League and the league. I think Lamar is rightfully owed a Ballon d'Or, in my opinion. I mean, the Euro, I was thinking, he's so young, he has time to really compete for this. But honestly, it's just because of his age. Other than that, he is the best player in the world right now, right? I don't think there's any problem seeing him win the Ballon d'Or, in my opinion. And he could win it. He's probably not going to win it. Rafinha's probably going to win it. But anyway, so Lamar, again, he has that energy where whenever he has the ball, even Pedri said it. It reminds you of Messi. Whenever he has the ball, you can just see something magical happening. So the first 20 minutes, I mean, he had few chances. He wasn't scoring. But you could just tell as the way the game was just floating for Barcelona that they were going to really win this game. It's just that how much are they going to win? So the first goal comes at the 25-minute from a set piece. And Kubasi kind of just touched the ball. And as the ball is going in, Rafinha was kind of a little selfish and makes sure the ball completely goes in, even though it was already going in. And really, he risked that him touching that ball, he could have easily been offside. But he wasn't offside, he was onside. And so after that goal, you kind of felt that, all right, everybody's kind of relaxed, I think we're good. And then, everything's settled. It looked like Barcelona can just focus on controlling the game and slowly just, choking Dortmund. And that's kind of what they were doing as well. So they had full control of the game. They had 61% of the possession. They had 18 shots, 10 on target. Dortmund had 13 shots, 3 on target. And really for Dortmund, I got to give to them. They were really not trying to let this game just die out, So they were pressuring it, but after the second goal, it felt that this game was just running away from them. The second goal, again, in the combination from Lamar to Rafinha and then to Lewandowski, that header. I mean, after the second goal, you kind of just like, all right, it's cool. Just chill out. But Barcelona wasn't chilling out. They wanted more goals. And you can see that they could score way more goals as well. So now Dortmund is forced to come out of their box. And whenever they're forced to come out, that just leaves a lot of room for these forwards, to really get at them. Towards the end of the first half, after they scored the second goal, Dortmund, credit to them, they were creating chances. They should have at least scored 2 goals. So they were really pressuring the last 10 minutes, but it wasn't good enough. The second half starts. Again, the third goal happens. Another great sequence for Barcelona. Ferran Lopez to Lamar, and Lamar has a great instinct for passing. So he just passes it, puts the ball in front of Lopez. Lopez cuts it back to Lewandowski. And Lewandowski, when he gets a strike like that, the keeper has no chance. And then now we're at 3-0. Now we're at 3-0. At this point, you're washing your hand. Time, it's over. It's over. The game is done. But it wasn't done. Barcelona wasn't done. They weren't subbing anybody at this point, and they were still wanting more goals. So 10 minutes later, right? 10 minutes later, Lewandowski makes a great tackle. And this is a pass where it was like Vinicius' pass that he should have gave it to Kylian Mbappe. That's what Rafinha does. Rafinha takes the ball and crosses it. Perfect pass to Lamar. And Lamar kind of just one touch and just toe pokes the ball to the corner. And, for a goalkeeper, they're not expecting for a player to toe poke at all. So the keeper was just frozen on his spot. So that was it. I mean, the game was over. I think the tie is over. I mean, they're going to go back to Dortmund. Is Dortmund going to score 4 goals and not have Barcelona score a goal? That I just don't see that happening at all. So I believe this tie is over. Congratulations to Barcelona for coming through. That's what I'm going to say. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got.